Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, since I started this channel, I have brought you several stories of Nigerian politicians bringing you the most ludicrous narratives that you have ever heard. But this video that I am bringing you now is probably the most foolish thing that I have ever heard a Nigerian politician say. So I'm going to play you this clip first.
53 years after a fellow has left secondary school. 53 years. I think we should pardon him if he does not even know where I kept it.
So guys, in that clip, you saw Lai Mohammed or Liar Mohammed, to be given him as a proper title, saying to Nigerians that 53 years after Malam Buhari left secondary school, we should forgive him for not being able to provide or produce a certificate. Now guys, as I said, I have brought you a lot of stories about a lot of Nigerian politicians saying very foolish things, but this is the most foolish thing that I have ever heard. Now, the Nigerian Constitution demands that you present at least a minimum of a school certificate before you vie for the position of a Nigerian president. This is one statute within the Nigerian statute books that all Nigerians are familiar with. And we're familiar with it, of course, thanks largely to Malam Buhari. So the Nigerian Constitution demands this. So now we have this laughable guy, Lai Mohammed, coming on national TV to tell Nigerians to forgive Malam Buhari and forget about it, that the guy is not able to present the minimum, most basic requirement by constitution for vying for the Nigerian presidency. So now this is just the most ludicrous thing. So imagine then you turn up at a place of work where you're seeking employment, and then they are interviewing you and they've asked you to bring certain documentations, and then some of the documentations that they have asked you to bring, you are not then able to present it, and then you say to your potential employers that it's been a long time and I've moved from house to house several times, so just forgive it and forget that I'm not able to show proof that I'm able to fill this position to fit the criteria that you've set as a requirement for this position. So just forgive and forget all that bit, and then let me have the job anyway. Imagine that you have a medical need and you go to a hospital, and then you hear that the doctor that is about to treat you was not able to defend his credentials because the panel that's interviewed him for the job forgive for not being able to present his credentials because of the sort of narrative that Malam Buhari is presenting us. I mean, imagine that. Imagine that you are being defended in court by a lawyer who is bringing you the same. Now, it's just the most ludicrous thing that you would ever hear. So now this is now the goings on now. This Malam guy, and by the way, WAEC has been existing for a very long time. So if WAEC is not able, that's the West African Examination Board, if WAEC or wherever he is that he said he went to school, and by the way, Malam Buhari is in his 80s. So when he was actually in secondary school, he would have been under the British system then, and the British, as you know, are fastidiously fussy about keeping records. So there's no way and there's no reason that his record cannot be retrieved. So if he's saying he's lost his copy of his certificates, then wherever he went to school, the governing board that supervised that examination that he's claiming that he took should be able to produce a true and certified copy of the examinations that he did take. So now this is now the territory that we're in now in Nigeria, with these empty-headed people coming up on national television to tell us that we should forget it, like we're like dumb like them, like we're a bunch of dons like them, to say forget it. You know, forget what? The Constitution requires this. You are not able to provide it, and you are entering the body, you are taking over rather the position by force, and you are saying forget it. Forget what? Forgive what? Forgive what? If it's forgive it that we are using, then we might as well just abolish the whole constitution and then just use forgive it as the constitution of Nigeria. It was utter arrant nonsense from this empty-headed guy. But then, of course, this thing is with the electoral tribunal now. But then we cannot pin too much hope, of course, on the electoral tribunal, because we know that the electoral tribunal is already bought and paid for by Malam Buhari and his followers, etc. So we all know that they are all bought and paid for. But at least whether they are bought and paid for or not, we will continue to make all this noise within the public space, so that we know that these people know for certain that we know that they lack legitimacy in what they are doing. They might be doing it by force, but they're not doing it by the will of the people or by any form of legitimacy, because clearly, patently, and by their own admission now, this guy has not fulfilled the minimum requirement of the constitution to occupy that position. So what is he then doing in that position? Are we saying that Malam Buhari is the only person that is capable of being the president of Nigeria? Absolutely not. Not only is it not the only person that is capable of being the president of Nigeria, he is actually conversely incapable of being the president of Nigeria. So this is just utter and arrant nonsense that we are having to contend with now. But at least now we have heard it in their own words, with the Minister of Information no less saying forgive and forget that this guy doesn't have a school cert. Forgive and forget what? Go back. Let me not use, I'm trying to tone down my language because I'm getting a bit angered by what I've just witnessed and heard from this character. But you come express your emotions to me in the comment section, because I'm sure you are able to contain your emotions on this better than I can, because I am boiling at the moment over this nonsense that I've just heard. So you come condense it to me in more civilized tones in the comment section. But before you come condense it to me in more civilized tones in the comment section, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me what you are making of what you've heard from Lai Mohammed in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, join you in the comment section, but here I say peace.